Welcome to the In Memory of Man podcast, a show dedicated to the brave new world of crime, artificial intelligence, and you. The future is now. Here's your host, criminal trial lawyer, researcher, and author, Robert Kiesling.
Hello, welcome to the In Memory of Man podcast, Robot Crime Blog. I am your host, Robert Kiesling. This is episode 9. I'm going to do the research so you don't have to. Folks, it's moving at lightning speed. Our rights are being taken away at lightning speed. What I'm going to repeat the same words, regulation, legislation, and time limits. Regulation, legislation, and time limits. And if we don't do this, the following articles are going to show you the rights that are being taken away, the lives that can be taken away, and also being detained indefinitely, and basically your family being taken away. Let's jump right in. I'm going to start with a quote. The quote's going to be from Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte. His quote, "Instead of causing trouble, I'm going to send you to the grave." This president said that to his constituents. Yeah, his constituents. Why did he say that? Because there was a mass protest by poor people because of a food shortage and they were going hungry or starving. That was his response. Wow. And if you don't think that can happen here, they're an ally of the United States. Understand that. The Philippines are. All right? So if he's willing to do that and say that to those people, you better stay in line. You better do what you're told. You better not protest. I don't care if you're hungry. I don't care if you're starving. I don't care if you're hurt. I don't care if you need to go to a hospital. Shut up or I'm going to kill you. That's basically what he's saying in that comment. He said it. I didn't. All right. Now, the interesting article that's following that. DOJ seeks new emergency powers amid coronavirus pandemic. All right. Are you ready for this? In one of the documents, the Department of Justice proposed that Congress grant the Attorney General power to ask the Chief Judge of any district court, where I practice law predominantly in Austin, to pause court proceedings whenever, quote, whenever the district court is fully or partially closed by virtue of any natural disaster, which is happening right now in Austin, civil disobedience or other emergency situation. So folks, that means that one of the judges that I would know, right, or I'm in front of all the time, and I'm representing a client, either criminal or on the family side, for whatever reason, they get a call from the Attorney General, and for no due process whatsoever, he says that I'm going to hold her or him indefinitely, take him away. Judge can't do anything about it. Your due process rights are gone, and they haul those people away. First it'll be one person, then 10, then 1,000, then 20,000. You know what that's called? That's detaining, that's detention, that's Guantanamo Bay kind of stuff. Understand that. So if you don't think what is happening in the Philippines can't happen here, well, they're already trying to introduce legislation. Thank goodness that the House did not listen to them. But folks, they're trying to take your rights away because they're using the virus as an excuse. Don't let them use the virus as an excuse. Don't let them use this emergency as an excuse to do that. Regulation, legislation, time limits. All right, back to the articles. Germans snitch on neighbors flouting virus rules and echoes of the Stasi past. I mean, all I got to do is say the word Stasi, Germany. I mean, wow. If those German people aren't alarmed over there after what happened in World War II, good God. And I'm going to quote Raphael Burr, professor of criminology and sociology at the Hamburg Police Academy. His quote is, "This willingness to report others as poisoning civilized behavior somewhat." Poisoning civilized behavior, ratting on your fellow neighbors. Oh, and I said this in my other podcast, but this buttresses that. Many citizens are acting reasonably. Some experts say jealousy, frustration, or bearing a grudge can play a role. In other words, what I was saying in my other podcast, hey, I don't like my neighbor. Man, that guy was a jerk for 2 years straight. My neighbor up above me, he's stomping around, and I'm going to make a phone call and make life difficult for him. Nothing to stop him. And again, it's anonymous, folks. Big problem with that with due process. Anywho, be aware of that. European experts ready smartphone technology to help halt coronavirus spread. So the alarming part about that is they're saying that, hey, we're touting this new technology and we're going to go ahead and we're going to track all the smartphones of all those that are infected, and then we're going to go ahead and tell the person that they were in contact with who isn't infected that they were around that person. Here's the problem with that, folks. In order to do that, they not only have to have that person's information ahead of time, they also have to have the person's information they're going to talk to about it ahead of time. So in other words, they collected that data illegally without a warrant. They collected that data violating someone's due process, violating your privacy rights, violating search and seizure Fourth Amendment rights. And I understand it's in Europe, but they're doing it here. Okay, they're doing it here with the very companies that are helping China, Western companies that are helping China. You know the big names. I'm not going to name names, but you know who it is. Go to the articles, figure it out. Second to last article. In coronavirus fight, China gives citizens a color code with red flags. What does that mean? Really? What in the heck is that? Well, they're allowing people to go back to work, allowing people to do certain things, but they're making sure that they have a barcode. Yes, a barcode. Hello, Orwell. Is he turning over in his grave? Probably. 1984. And what they're tracking is they're tracking the person's location, city name, and identifying code number to a server. It's uploaded in real time to that server, and they have what are called health checkpoints. Well, I'm sure they have those health checkpoints everywhere, and every time they go to that health checkpoint, where their location is uploaded to that in real time. So not only are they tracking where they are, what they're doing, how they're doing it, they're tracking every single movement. That's not just sporadic. So, man, folks, I never thought this day would come, seriously, especially in the United States. And then using the virus as a carte blanche to just assassinate our civil rights. And they can't do that. Regulation, legislation, time limits. All right, positive news. Australia starts putting time limits on draconian virus measures. So they're saying, hey, 90 days, we're going to revisit certain things. I mean, but it's pretty bad over there right now with their fines and the other things. But hey, at least they're recognizing that there has to be time limits, and the Aussies are taking a step in the right direction and standing up and being counted. So something we got to do, folks. Pay attention. This is the time to do it, because it might be too late sooner than later. Okay. If Skynet doesn't take over, or someone else at this point before my next podcast, I will see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.